call the council meeting to order, and appreciate you all coming tonight, January 20th, as opposed to January 19th, because of MLK Day. And I'm a fan of MLK, so appreciate the day. So if we could have the clerk call the roll, please. I guess I need to say one thing. We've got people up here because of we're testing out a new system tonight. Actually, we're adopting a new system, and I've got to get used to it as well. And so if you look up here, you can see where it is. So I need all of the council members to go ahead and press their button that they are present. So Fred and Pamela and Jeremy has done that. The rest need to do that, including the mayor, and that is done. So we've got these little units right here that we've never tried out before, and we've got people back here that if it goes bad on us, they can help us, and we appreciate them. So it looks like we're all present except for Tim Dennehy. If the clerk are you going to announce that? Is that how we're going to do it? Okay, go ahead.
Mayor Phil Lund.
Here. We're good.
Mayor Pro Tem Smisher. Here. Councilmember Worthington.
Here.
Councilmember Dennehy. Councilmember Maloney.
Here.
Councilmember Tony.
Here.
Councilmember Simmons.
Here.
Councilmember Reeves.
Here.
And we have a quorum. And I would ask Bradley Buck, who is here from Bridge to Life Assembly of God Church, to give the invocation, if you would. Are you here, sir? I am not seeing him, and we will then proceed beyond that. So let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So normally we would have citizens turn to speak, but we've got a special one on the open mic thing, so we're going to go ahead and merge those two together, and it will be the second part of it. So hopefully, again, I will stress again, if you choose to speak tonight, which I appreciate you doing, please fill out a form, get it to the clerk, and I've got a pretty good stack here, and we'll be working through those this evening, so looking forward to it. So next, Human Resource Director Butch, if you would come forward, and we're going to do employee recognition. Okay, I'll go back to that. Thank you.
Good evening, Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor, other distinguished participants of the dais. For the new council members, I want to assure you that the second meeting of each month is going to become your favorite meeting, because that's the meeting where we have an opportunity to recognize our employees who are experiencing a milestone in their employment with the city. Tonight, we have a significant one. We're recognizing a 30-year employee. On January 1st, 1996, Rex Brady was hired as the crew leader in the Parks Department. On January 1st, 1998, Rex was selected for promotion to the Parks Foreman position, and then on July 17, 2012, Rex was selected to be the Parks Director, a position he continues to hold and excel at to this day. As has become our custom, whenever we're recognizing one of our employees, we always ask their supervisor to come forward and say a few words, Leo. No, I'm just kidding. Say something nice about him, and just to tell a little background on it. Rex, if we could get you to join us up here, that would be great.
Thanks, sir. All right, it's my distinct pleasure to say a few words about Rex. I have only been here for 3 of his 30 years, so I am certainly not the expert on any of this, but I'll do my best to give him his proper dues here. I just wanted to start by recognizing the huge scope of what the Parks Department does. I don't think that goes appreciated enough around the city. The obvious things like Centennial Park and Mountain View Park and all that obviously falls into that area, but you're also talking about a cemetery with thousands of internments, an urban forest that's got 6,000 trees, I want to say. We've got about 6,000 acres of mountain parks that we're responsible for. along with all the other little things that kind of don't fall to any one department, like taking care of Main Street and making sure Main Street looks great every day, taking care of the medians on Highway 50. All those little things fall to the Parks Department, and it's just a huge responsibility that they have to make sure our city looks good and serves all our citizens well for their recreational needs. The other thing I really wanted to touch on with Rex, just 30 years of transformation and what this city was when Rex started versus where we are today. When you look at a recreation standpoint, has been a huge transformation. I obviously haven't been here for it. There was a beautiful article written in the Colorado Sun back in the fall of 2025 that highlighted all of the change that's happened in Canyon City, and I think it was really looking at the last 15 years, which really overlaps with Rex's time as the head of the Parks Department. But you've got just the development of the trail system, the development of the Whitewater Park, the rebuilding of Centennial Park, and just on and on and on, and all those things that have really transformed Canyon City into an outdoor recreation hub. And Rex has been here for all of that and been a huge part of that. The last thing I really wanted to touch on, one of the stories that Rex has told me, and I had to look it up. The date that he was assigned as the director and the head of the Parks Department was July 17th, 2012. June 13th, 2013 was the fire that destroyed the Royal Gorge Park. So less than a year after he had been in that position, the staff at the City Parks Department went from 14 down to, I believe, 6 for a very long time while the park was rebuilt, because a majority of our parks funding comes from the shared revenue of that park. And just to be able to sustain that and build out that outdoor recreation system from 6 people back to where we are today and everything we have is just a huge accomplishment that I want to make sure we acknowledge Rex for, especially as a leader of that department. So with that, I just want to say thank you, Rex, on behalf of myself for everything you've done for me in my 3 years, and thanks on behalf of the City of Canyon City for everything you've done to make outdoor recreation great here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Want to say something?
Well, I didn't really have a speech prepared at all, but I will say that I'm a Canyon City native. I was born and raised here. What has occurred in the last 30 years has been incredible, really, from what we started with 30 years ago to what we have today. And, I won't take a lot of credit for that. It's everybody on my staff and everybody, city council and the mayors that have been through, and city administrators, been through quite a few of them in my time, 5 or 6, but it's a team effort, and without that team we wouldn't be here where we're at today. And there's an old saying that if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, and I haven't worked for 30 years now, so thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Rex. And we
I could
typically take a
get,
photograph down here. Do you have one more employee?
No, I just,
Okay.
if I could get council down in front of
Yep,
the podium. we'll
exactly.
Get a picture with Rex.
My 15 seconds of fame.
No. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
Okay, at the top of my agenda, I slid past number 6, which is council member announcements and board updates. So if any council members have announcements they would like to do, that would be great. In the future, we have new committees, standing committees, and we'll put that on the agenda as a normal part of it, that each of the 3 standing committees will be giving announcements. But at this point, any council members have announcements? Yes, Amy.
Thank you. Just a couple. With regard to the pool, Councilmember Maloney and I were appointed as the reps. And we've also been working with Councilmember Tony and the two representatives from the Canyon City Rec District. So we've had a couple of meetings to kind of work through what are all of the legal possibilities for a way forward, which has been really productive and helpful. And our next step is to meet with the bond council, the folks who actually are responsible for having the rec district, loaning the rec district money, to find out of all of those feasible legal options, which ones will actually be feasible from a financial standpoint. At that point, once we've gathered all of that information, our plan is obviously to provide it to council, and the rec district representatives will provide it to the rec district board, because that's where a policy decision is needed. So just wanted to give you guys an update that those meetings are ongoing, and we're just currently waiting on the rec district to schedule that meeting with their bond council.
Okay, thank you. Anybody? You've got more.
Additional, yeah. I'm the city council liaison to the public library and museum. And I have a couple of year-end stats to share from both of those. So the public library, folks may not know, you can actually have free notary services there, no appointment necessary. They actually did 1,103 notaries last year, which is pretty impressive. 1,016 new people signed up for library cards at the Canyon City Public Library last year, which is also pretty impressive. And over 57,000 people walked through the doors of the Canyon City Public Library in 2025. The museum has been leading our efforts on the 150-250, which is the short way of saying the 250th anniversary of the United States of America and the 150th anniversary of Colorado. And we'd welcome everyone to come to the chamber tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. They've also had a really impressive year in 2025. They had close to 1,000 researchers come in. They had 1,429 circulations, and their programs are really outstanding. If folks don't know about them, we actually have an education coordinator who works out of the museum who pulls together a lot of really fantastic local history programs. So encourage folks to check out their website. Thanks.
Anyone else? And again, council members, hit that button and it'll come up on my screen that you'd like to speak. So anybody else? Okay, I want to just two announcements myself. Back on the back table there, we have a lecture series that's going on at the Steeple Event Center. We have 5. We just had one last Thursday. I think some of you in here may have attended those. And that was entrepreneurship and innovation. We have one coming up on Thursday, the 29th. Which is what makes communities successful. And if you'd like, grab an agenda. I'm encouraging everyone to come to those particular lectures. 50 minutes of a presenter talking, and then after that, it's Q&A. And I think, again, we had a pretty successful one last time, and I would encourage you to come as well. The other thing, while we still have everyone here, is we have changed up our committee structure, and the committees now are Finance and Public Works, Public Safety and Quality of Life, and Economic Development. And we are looking for up to 7 citizens on each one of those. There'll be non-voting members on there, but we're encouraging people to sign up for that and become involved with the public policy issues on the front end as opposed to on the back end when things are done and all you get is 3 minutes to speak. So I know that a lot of citizens have already been applying for that, and we hope to have those in place by February the 2nd in those respective committees. So I just want to encourage you to do that. Any other announcements? Okay, I'm going to go to open mic, and let me tell you that I'm excited about this day. I've been waiting for it to talk about the hearing from citizens, and that is such an important part of what we're trying to do. So each one of the things that we've talked about is to encourage citizens' voices to be heard. And tonight, I think we've got at least 20 that are here, and it'll take us a while to work our way through that. But I believe it's absolutely great that that is taking place. And what I would encourage you to do also is to listen to each other. It's not just speaking to the council, but we're speaking to one another in the community and just hearing from one another about our perspectives. And I think we're going to have a good evening. I see the list here, and it's pretty substantial. So the hardest one to do is the first one, but I've got a person that I'm going to call on, and he's undoubtedly great at public speaking because he does it all the time. So first up is Max Hansen. And Max, if you want to lead us on this endeavor, and I'm got 3 to 5 minutes. The clock is up here, and so you can see it. And I'm not going to be quick with the gavel. What we want to do is hear from citizens tonight. But we'll start you off with Max, and you can introduce yourself and what you're up to.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Talked me up a little bit. I don't do as much public speaking as maybe you alluded to, but I'm happy to kick this off. First, I am a citizen here in Canyon City. Lived here almost 20 years, raised my kids here, have my oldest graduating high school this year, so I'm excited to call Canyon City my home. Second, I am actually the constituent service representative for Congresswoman Brittany Pedersen, so I do hold an office here in town, usually there 9 to 5 most days. So, you know, any citizens who would like to speak and share thoughts, concerns with their federal representative, I'm there to hear from them. I did have 2 topics I wanted to cover and let council and you, Mayor, know about. One is the Community Project Fund process. This is an annual appropriations process where the Congresswoman looks to highlight projects within the congressional district that she can help sponsor and provide funding for. In the past, the office has sponsored projects from wastewater treatment to child care centers, capital construction for sheriff's departments, and affordable housing development. There's some others in there. Wish I could say that pools were funded. Unfortunately, that is typically not allowable. But we're trying to get ahead of the curve this year in working with community partners, nonprofits, local governments, et cetera, to try and see if their projects will fit what the criteria is going to be down the road. I believe last year we only had about a 2-week turnaround. So we want to make sure, again, that some of those projects we can kind of go through and meet with those stakeholders before we actually know what's going to be funded. 2, the WRDA process. If you're unfamiliar with WRDA, it's the Water Resource Development Act. This is a 2-year authorization process where water districts, local governments, et cetera, can try and apply for funds and authorization to work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for projects to rehabilitate dams, levees, do flood mitigation, all sorts of projects really related to water. I believe it was about 3 years ago, the community worked with the office to do a WRDA authorization for the John Griffin Regional Reservoir Project. So we're happy to say we're still working with the city, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, et cetera, on that project so we can get to the actual authorization or appropriations process. So outside of those are the 2 I wanted to highlight and, you know, let Mayor and Council know that those deadlines are approaching, and any other community members or agencies that would like to work with our office on those 2 potential topics, happy to meet with them.
Okay, thank you, Max. Yep. And we won't be taking or offering questions tonight or asking questions. We just want to be hearing tonight and listening to the citizens. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next, I have Sage Goodwin. Good evening, Sage.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Gonna have to adjust the mic a little bit. Hello, everybody. I am Sage Goodwin. I do a bunch of different things, but I'm here today to represent the Royal Gorge Film Festival. I'm the executive director of our nonprofit. We're doing a very exciting film festival. If you don't know, Canyon City, Fremont County as a whole is a huge historical hub of filmmaking. We've had over 300 films filmed here. This was called the Hollywood of Colorado. The actual film office of Colorado was in Canyon City. So we have a huge, deep, rich history of film within the region. And that's what our film festival wants to highlight is filmmakers across Colorado. We even have a few from Canyon City, so we're excited about that. We have our festival is set up in 2 parts. We have part 1, which is the first part of the day, which is a general film festival. We've got tons of great films, short films. We have a whole block dedicated to Westerns. So that was something that I was really hoping for with this film festival, was to highlight our Western film culture. And we've got a whole block of films dedicated to that, so I'm really excited. And then we're bringing back to theaters The Duchess and the Dirtwater Fox, which was a film filmed in Fremont County and was released in the 70s, featuring Goldie Hawn. So we are very excited to bring that back to theaters. This is going to be over Valentine's Day weekend. We're going to have an opening ceremony party kind of get together on the Friday. Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. are all of our films. And then in the evening, we're going to have a separate feature for The Duchess and the Dirtwater Fox. So very excited about that. Coming up very soon. So we've got our website live. Tickets should be available now. Come show up. Get excited about local films, film history. We're going to have some great panels and some great fun. So this is all at the Skyline Theater, February 13th to the 15th. So fun little Valentine's Day adventure that you can have with your loved ones. Come hang out and enjoy some films. So that's what I've got. RoyalGorgeFilmFest.com. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Next, familiar face to everyone on the council, Mr. John Hammond. Thank you, sir. Sorry not to call you Mayor Pro Tem, but we're not going to do that tonight. Citizens are.
I am no longer Mayor Pro Tem, that's for sure. And good evening, Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. I've got a rhetorical question for you. Why do we do professional licensing of professions, of the trades? There are other professional groups that handle all of the licensing requirements, all of the training, all of the updating. But for plumbers and electricians, what do their licensing agencies do for them? And I have to kind of sharpen that, the focus on that. I recently took out a shower in my house and contracted to have it replaced. And what that meant was reestablishing where the water lines used to run, because there was a tub in the house previously, but reestablishing the water lines, changing the drain to a previous location, and moving an electrical junction box essentially from here to here. And that's the exact dimensions of the move of that. To do that, I had to get a permit from the city. The contractor had to get a permit for the city. 3 inspections. Excuse me. We had 3 inspections. An inspector came in our house, very nice young man, very professional, but 3 inspections. In what universe is that appropriate? Good grief. I was talking with the city's economic development director, Rick Harmon, earlier, and he said, "Well, you're a private citizen now. You can say what you want." And I said, "Yeah, I can really come up here and complain like mad." I don't think I used those exact words, but nonetheless, I think it's something for you to think about in terms of code enforcement. Essentially, what the city has done is they have taken over the job of professional licensing and moved it into code enforcement. And, I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think 3 inspections for a silly shower install is appropriate at all. And I know that code enforcement does lots of inspections, and they view that as a plus and as an example of how well they're doing. And if you look at the number of code enforcement inspections done last year, you'll be blown away about how many that is. To me, that's not a kudo or an attaboy. That's an indictment of the department that we have to do that many code inspections of our citizens. So I'm not sure what the resolution is there, but it is a problem. I know that the previous council was addressing it in some form and fashion, but hopefully you'll be able to continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it, John. I don't think the council will be clapping, but there's no restriction on the audience from supporting people. I'm just fine with that. And next we will have Alyssa Klug. Alyssa, are you here? Okay? Thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Good evening. My name's Alyssa Clue. I'm the owner of Sacred Self Counseling, a behavioral health practice operating in Canyon City since 2021, where I practice as a licensed clinician employed, licensed with the state of Colorado. I'm here tonight on my son's 11th birthday because I believe it's important for the community, the council, and the mayor to understand what's happening. The city of Canyon City is suing me after I asked questions about my own property and zoning. The city is now spending thousands of public dollars on litigation over issues that could have been resolved with a cup of coffee and a conversation. Instead of clear communication, problem solving, or collaboration, this situation escalated into formal legal action. That decision carries real costs, not just for my business, but for taxpayers. Sacred Self provides trauma-informed behavioral health services in a rural community where access to care is already limited. We employ local clinicians. We serve local families and first responders. We've operated for years in the same commercial location without enforcement issues or disruption. I'm not here because I violated the law or changed my use. I'm here because asking ordinary questions about property rights and zoning escalated into litigation. This ongoing litigation has created uncertainty that affects basic operations, staffing stability, and long-term planning. I want to be very clear that I'm here to bring this to your attention and to the attention of the community. This is costing thousands of public dollars and will continue to cost thousands if it remains unresolved. This did not need to become a lawsuit, and the fact that it did is something that I believe this council and the public deserves to understand. When disputes become about asserting control rather than finding solutions, the cost is borne by everyone, and in this case, the cost is measured in public money. I operate a licensed business in the city. I employ local professionals, and I comply with the rules. I should not need a legal team just to get clear answers from my own city government. I did what most people would do. I asked questions. I requested clarity. I tried to understand, and instead of answers, this became litigation. I'm asking the council to take an interest in how situations like this are handled. If this can happen to a local business providing needed services, it can happen to anyone in this community.
Thank you, Alyssa. Next, we have Amanda Platt. Welcome, Amanda. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I was encouraged to speak tonight. As you know, my name is Amanda Platt. Never in a million years did I think I would struggle as much as I have this past week to write this speech to present to you all. The emotions, the frustrations, the hopes, and the fears all played a huge part in my struggle. However, I managed to get through it, and I'm ready to present. I'm here today to speak on the need of drug rehabilitation and recovery programs here in Fremont County and Canyon City. I'd first like to share my story with you. Sobriety isn't easy, and it definitely has its days where you want to give up. However, that is not an option with me. I have fought long and hard to get to where I am today. October 19th, 2018 was one of the worst days of my life. I had just gotten out of rehab for addiction and was scared to face life, so I relapsed an hour after walking out the front door. By choosing to do so, it landed me in the ER via ambulance. I was going to the hospital to be evaluated for an overdose. At this time, my husband was never aware that I was an addict. He had called, and the EMT that was sitting at the head of me had answered my phone. and let him know that I was going to be transferred to Memorial Central. My husband sped to excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm really nervous.
That's okay. You're doing great. Keep going.
My husband sped to Colorado Springs to be by my side, still unaware that I had just relapsed. This is when he arrived, they had informed him that I was teetering on the verge of an overdose and was being monitored. That is when he found out I was addicted to methamphetamine. Seeing the look on his face and knowing I was the cause of his heartache and pain made me realize that I was not only the cause of that, but that I was also throwing my life away for something that was taking my life and destroying it, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. I had lost sight of who I was and what was important. I am learning to live again. It's not easy, but it's worth it. October 19th, 2018 is the day I chose my life and chose sobriety. I share this not for sympathy, but for awareness. We need rehab centers available and accessible here in Fremont County and Canyon City. Centers that teach you how to build yourself back up and focus on your sobriety. The rehab facility I was at did nothing to build me back up once torn down. We need transportation and counseling as well. Addicts in Fremont County and Canyon City need to know there's help for them and that they are not alone. Schools need programs taught to the kids about the risks and the effects of drugs and addiction, and made aware of programs that are available for those who suffer. How can we as a community fix this before it's too late? What is it going to take to get the help in Fremont County? How can we as a community help those who struggle with addiction? Please keep in mind while you process everything I have already said that not all addicts are homeless either. Addiction is a terrible disease, and with the proper resources and education, we as a community can make a difference. Thank you for your time and for allowing me to speak to all of you. I truly look forward to seeing where this goes.
Thank you, Amanda.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it. Diana Clothier. Appreciate you coming. Thank you.
I'm super nervous, sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. Just speak from the heart.
So, my name is Diana Cloutier, as you said. I'm a native of Canyon City. I actually went to St. Scholastica. It's not there anymore. And I'm a graduate of the University of Notre Dame. I'm a nurse practitioner. 3 years ago, I lost my husband to a fentanyl overdose. And since his death, recovery and rehabilitation and mental health and then the physical well-being of people have become the forefront of what I fight for daily. I have spent a lot of hours learning about addiction and about alcoholism and about how many people operate as what they call functional alcoholics, which really isn't functional at all. They're destroying their body. I believe most of us can agree that not only Canyon City, but Fremont County as a whole is experiencing a significant impact from alcoholism, drug use, and other substance abuse disorders. Unfortunately, resources for recovery in our area are limited. Data shows that 90% of DUI arrests in Colorado are due to alcohol and/or one drug use. 86.4% are an impairment from one substance, while 13% are caused by what we call polysubstance abuse, or more than one substance in their body that's impairing their ability to drive. We are deeply concerned about the level of mental health challenges in this community, not only depression and anxiety, but those directly related to substance use. When people pick a substance to use, it's often because there's an underlying problem, whether it's grief, whether it's anxiety, depression, poverty, lack of education, lack of opportunity for jobs, and so obviously poverty. And those can directly affect their physical health. If we are ridden with anxiety and we live in survival mode for a long time, it can affect blood pressure, diabetes. I mean, just your whole body can be affected. What we would like to, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You're doing great.
Alcoholism consumption in particular is increasing at an alarming rate in Colorado. Colorado is actually ranked 6th in the nation for the most alcohol-related deaths. So our hope is to provide a service, and you'll hear from a lady that I'll be working with. I would work as a nurse practitioner. I'd work as a family nurse practitioner. That is actually my specialty. But under a family nurse practitioner, I can work closely with a therapist so that we can address the full body and mind. And we can provide a place for addicts and alcoholics or just people suffering from mental disorders or just need a place to come where they don't feel like an outcast or feel like garbage because they picked an unhealthy choice for dealing with something. They were in survival mode and they didn't know where to turn. And we are hoping that we can provide that to people and really provide health care from a perspective of, hey, we get it, we care. It's happened in our families, it's happened in families that we know of, but guess what? We can walk the walk with you. We don't just talk the talk, we're gonna walk the walk with you, and we want to be a pillar of Canyon City so that Canyon City can stand down the state of Colorado as trying to get a hold of this epidemic that is hurting our community. And with that, I really thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much for coming. Dee Dee Clement, are you out there? There you are. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Good evening, members of council. My name is Dee Dee Clement, and I'm the Executive Director for Loaves and Fishes Ministries. I've been part of the ministry now for over 20 years, and I've been serving as the Executive Director for 11 years. I'm here tonight to discuss the connection between homelessness and the overall well-being of our neighbors in need. Poverty and homelessness are deeply intertwined. When housing becomes unaffordable, it creates a trap. Families are forced to make impossible choices between paying rent, buying food, health care, and transportation. In Canyon City, a single unexpected event, an illness, a car accident, a missed paycheck, is often all it takes to push one of our neighbors into homelessness. The data reflects this struggle. In 2023, our county's poverty rate was 14.1%, significantly higher than Colorado's rate of 9.6% and the national average. Many of our local renters are spending 50% or more of their total income just to keep a roof over their heads. Despite these challenges, we have seen incredible success through collaboration. Over the last 5 years, service providers, law enforcement, community members have worked together to transition 1,389 previously homeless individuals into safe and stable housing. As of the end of December, we have 86 individuals who are still homeless. Of those, 31 are in our emergency shelter and 53 are on the streets. While that number is lower than the 117 we saw in December of 2024, 86 is still, well, 86 too many. I also want to address the negative perception that has been circulating over the past couple of years. There is this narrative that depicts our unhoused neighbors as criminals, addicts, or people simply unwilling to help themselves. The reality on the ground is quite different. Out of the 50+ individuals currently on the street, there may be about 10 who are not yet ready to engage in services. But the vast majority are doing everything in their power to maintain a low profile, to survive the elements, and find a way back into a home. Our biggest barrier is not a lack of will, it is a lack of inventory. With vacancy rates hovering around 3%, it is nearly impossible for the most motivated individual to find a place to live. We cannot service our way out of a housing shortage. My request to this council is to prioritize and seek out innovative ways to increase our housing inventory. We need more doors so that the 1,389 individual successes that we've had, that can continue to the 86 neighbors who are still waiting for a place to call home. I also want to just take this opportunity to invite all of you to come to Loaves and Fishes for a tour and to learn more about the great work that we are doing there. It would be my privilege to show you around and to talk about how we can better partner together so we can create a community here in Canyon City where everyone has the ability to thrive. Thank you for your time and your commitment to serve.
Thank you so much, Dee Dee. Tim Wren. Tim, did I pronounce your last name correctly? We didn't talk about that. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you coming, sir.
Yeah, no worries. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Ms. Mayor Pro Tem, and distinguished council members. My name is Tim Wren. I'm the Director of Special Services for the Canyon City School District. I thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I did prepare a handout, and if it is okay, I'd like to
Yeah, reference
share
it. It's your time. Go ahead.
Okay. Kind of think back to when you were in school yourself,
Nice and loud if you're away from that mic.
whenever that was, and go ahead and take a copy and pass it to your left, just like you would have if you were in class, whenever that might have been. Again, I'm the Director of Special Services for the Canyon City School District. Tonight, I just wanted to share with you some of our community engagement practices and efforts that we are conducting and performing in the Canyon City School District. Some of you were involved, and some of you may be aware, and if you're in the audience and you're not yet aware, a couple years ago, we did build out what we're calling a strategic plan. And for those in the audience, if you're also interested, I did make a few copies over here. So if you're so fortunate to grab one before the rest do, you're one of the lucky ones. In that strategic plan, we identified 4 major priorities. The first priority being learning. We're a school district, so that's obviously something that we should prioritize. The second priority is people. We believe that people are really important in being able to do our work. The third priority, and the priority I want to highlight a little bit tonight, is called engagement. And the fourth priority is resources. In talking about engagement, you'll see on the back of the first page, I shared some examples of how we as a school district are looking to engage more folks in our work in the school district. One of our priority goals under this priority is to expand the District Compass Committee membership to include greater representation across the school district and community in diversity, reach, and size. Last year, last school year, 24-25, we were able to bring on board to our Compass Committee membership from throughout the community. That included membership from the Boys and Girls Club, Wember Inc., which is our owner's rep and architectural group that's helping us with our construction projects, Sol Vista Health, an important partner in our community, Pueblo Community College, Fremont Campus, Sygentic Web Design, and the City of Canyon City. City of Canyon City has been a critical partner in our work since we expanded out our Compass Committee efforts, and we've greatly appreciated their involvement and continue to welcome their involvement as we continue to do good work for our school district and our community. This year, we brought in additional membership as we're engaging our community more broadly. This year, we have brought on board Three Rocks Engineering, Fremont Department of Human Services, the Canyon City Police Department. I saw Chief Schick here someplace. There he is. Thank you, Chief. Our newly elected mayor, Mayor Lund, and parent representatives from all of our schools. So we are working really hard to bring on diverse populations, membership from throughout the community to enhance engagement in our school district, because we believe strongly that more partners creates more allies and allows us to do better work. Additionally, and I don't know how much time I have left, 35 seconds, we are working with other partners to expand beyond the Compass Committee. This list includes Black Hills Energy, the Bank of the San Juans, Second 61, Dare Printing, and additional involvement of the City of Canyon City. I just come tonight to share with you that, like you, we have an interest in increasing community engagement, and I can see that happening through tonight's efforts to do this open mic. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. There have already been presentations tonight that I have learned from, and I think that greater participation between all of our agency groups really goes a long way toward making Canyon City and the community a better place. So I thank you for your time, and if any of you have any questions about, and I know you're not going to answer them tonight, but if you have any questions about the handout that I provided, I can be reached at the school district.
Thank you so much, Tim. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. Mike McPhee. Thank you for coming tonight, Mike. Appreciate it.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. My name is Mike McPhee. I live in Lincoln Park and grew up Canyon City, born and raised here. Love this community. I moved away for college and a decade-long career in Northern Colorado. Decided to move my family back here due to the abundance of opportunity that this beautiful hometown has to offer. Outdoors, mild weather, and an inviting community that just really makes this place home. I started Arrowhead Excavation 5 years ago. I'm currently the president of that company, fulfilling a long-term goal to build a business and provide opportunity for individuals within the community. I've attended meetings for the last couple years, just kind of seeing how things work within this community and what the effects of decisions on this dais, how it affects individual citizens sitting in this room. And what I've noticed is there is a large disconnect from what council votes on, what's imposed, and then how that looks within the community. I'd like them basically to make the purpose of my message tonight clear, which is this council needs to be united moving forward for the city of Canyon City and its long-term moving forward fundamentally so that we can course correct the ship towards the vision that this council sees fit. Our company has been based in Fremont County from its inception. We've had 5 years of ups and downs working with Public Works Department, whether that be engineering, building, or really just Public Works as a whole. During your first speech, Mr. Mayor, you said that young people who grew up here launching ventures adopted to the future because we made it easy, because we helped them, and I'm sure that was your vision for this community. And I agree with that sentiment and believe it's totally possible. However, we need to level the playing field when it comes to contractors, when it comes to building, to Tim's point of 3 inspections for a shower installation. When we're working within the right-of-way, we have a spec book that is about this thick that has been passed last year. And not one of those ideologies within there are followed by every single company across the board. It's dictated consistently with bias and what I believe, just whatever feels good that day. And it's unfortunate. I've had multiple conversations with the Public Works Director, and unfortunately, those have had no fruit. We have a city administrator that is willing to provide a CO to a resident that comes and complains at this podium that I'm at without ever reaching out to the engineering department and overrides without having the information. We have massive projects, Harrison Overlay, where specifications were not followed. We have a current project that is 3 weeks behind for the county because they did not provide a geotechnical report. I called Kathy Olsch today, had a conversation, and that's required for a resident to get a building permit. How does a county entity get a building permit within the city and not have the required documentation? So, within this, we have a leadership problem, we have an accountability problem, and I would hope that this council would look into these situations more and more, because our company is a small company. It employs 12 people. We work within the community on an average weekly basis. I want this to be a community that is built on quality infrastructure, quality companies, quality people. I would ask council to lead that endeavor, get with these departments, and make sure that there is recourse if they are not following the specifications adopted by this council. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Okay, next, Mr. Dan Brown. Dan?
Hello. My name's Dan Brown, and thanks for having me, Mayor and Council. I have a question. It's been bugging me for 45 minutes. Who's Tammy Nordyke? Just, I have a great view of it, and I don't, she hasn't come up yet, so hopefully she does.
She's our Director of Finance.
Okay, she must be doing a good job. All right. I am with the Fremont Community Foundation. We have been around for a long time. We started in 1998, and we are one of the partners in the Royal Gorge Whitewater Festival. And that's why I got asked here tonight, I suppose, and I'm just going to give you a quick history of our foundation, Fremont Community Foundation. We started with the Belvedere Blues Festival in 1998, jumped from there to the street dance, Flashback on Main. We did the Holy Smoke Barbecue, and we're still going. And now we're affiliated. We will do Flashback again this year on June 6th, and then the Whitewater Festival is coming up July 17th and 18th, and it's probably getting to be one of the biggest things happening here in Fremont County, and it's pretty important. And what I don't know if a lot of people understand what it costs to put on an event. Before I even get the gates open, because I do all the hiring for entertainment, the stage and the sound guys are $20,000. We're a nonprofit. We get no break, and all the other nonprofits here probably know that. I know there's some misconception thinking that since we're a 501c3, we get some freebie stuff. Doesn't happen. We pay just like everyone else, but it has paid us back well, and hopefully it's paid the community back well. It's the attendance last year, we had about 16,000 people at the Whitewater Festival from Friday afternoon through Saturday. Pretty good event. I'm not real sure what that park can hold. This year we've tried to step it up a little bit, and we're going to bring in some even bigger bands. And this is where the whole world changes when you go from a $5,000 band up to someone like, Big Head Todd and the Monsters, which some of you have probably heard of. He will not be here. We offered him $50,000. We were going to stick our neck way out and go for some big sponsors, and $50,000, they wouldn't even look in our direction. I got some other names thrown at me, and we're trying to just change it up a little bit and put Canyon City on the map with entertainment. But a little tough. It's very, very tough. We cannot afford to stick our necks out. There's 3 nonprofits. It's Fremont Community Foundation, Rio, which is a river organization that puts all the free vests on the river during the summer, and they do the improvements in the river. And then we have the Chamber Alliance. So all 3 of us share whatever profits or losses we make in that weekend. So far, it's been pretty good. We've been sharing profit. We continue, we hope, to share profit. The Whitewater Festival started in about 17 years ago, and it was somebody's great idea to have it up at the Royal Gorge Bridge. And there was a handful of people that started and did a great job. They did it on the bridge. The river was there, but it was about 1,000 feet away, and it just didn't work out as well. And I wasn't involved that first year. Then we moved it over to the rec district. It was actually at the rec district on their grounds, and that's when we got involved. Jim Hoare at the time did not want to he did want to pull a liquor license, and the organization we were with, we're happy to do it because we've done it before, and that's what we did. We did it probably 2 years at the rec district at their site. That didn't work out well, so we moved over to Veterans Park. Did it in Veterans Park for 2 years, and then took us 2 years to figure this out. We had our little fenced-off area for our party in the beer garden and all the fun things that were going on. And every time a river event happened, we emptied out our little fenced-out area, and everyone took off, and they went over to the river. And we sat there with nothing to do in our little gated area. So a couple of years ago, well, quite a few years ago now, we moved it over to Centennial Park. And thanks to Rex and his crew, Rex and Jesse, give us a ton of help. We try to destroy that park every year, and they bring it back to life, and we do it again. So it's very helpful. We could not do it without their help. So it's a great event, great organization. We plan on doing it. The future looks really good for us. Don't expect any giant bands this year, but maybe next year.
Very good. Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Pam Singh. Thank you for coming, Pam. We appreciate it. If you can drop that mic down just a little bit for us.
Oh, so you're saying I'm short?
There we go.
Okay. How's that?
Shorter than Dan, we'll say that.
Well, good evening. And again, thank you all for allowing me this moment to speak. I've only been in Canyon City for 3 years. So I'm a newbie, a transplant. No judgment. It's been great. I previously worked for a local mental health agency, and then in March of 2025, I was able to open up my own mental health agency, and just enjoying all that goes along with opening a new business. One thing that I learned in the short 3 years that I've been here or have observed is that many of my clients, let me take a deep breath, struggle with trauma, substance abuse, domestic violence. They come in hurt and broken. They say, oh, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've been here. Every time I go to the doctor, it's just more medication, or they send me to a hospital and it doesn't do any good. And so, we unpack all of that. And it's just made my heart just grow bigger and bigger for this community. There's just so many souls that are hurting. On October 16th, 2016, we received the worst phone call any parent should have. Our beautiful 21-year-old daughter, Emily Madeline Bell, died by suicide. And now I get to be her voice. So I come alongside people and we talk about that, because a lot of times when they're struggling with the substance use, the alcohol, and they don't have those resources, eventually they decide my life is better off if I wasn't here. And so I'm here tonight because I just have a desire for people to know that they matter. They matter no matter what their history was, no matter what choices they made, no matter what poor, unhealthy coping skills that they've turned to. They matter. They matter enough to have people stand beside them, believe in them, and try to support them and walk alongside them as they learn the healthy ones and learn that they can make a difference in this community. They can get employed. They can get a home. I'm sorry I don't remember your name with Loaves and Fishes, but I want to come meet with you. And they just sometimes need someone to listen and just understand. I have, again, learned as I was preparing to come tonight that Colorado is now suicide is currently the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and it's the 7th leading cause of death in Colorado. In Fremont County, as of 2024, 12 to 16 deaths per year are due to suicide. And I believe that we can prevent suicide. I'm an active member of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I've done training. I think that if there's any opportunity, I have 1 minute and 40 seconds, that we could get involved with businesses, with school districts, with parents and families, and educate them on how to seize the awkward, how to have those conversations. I'm on Facebook. I have a social group for moms who have lost children to suicide. 9 years old yesterday died by suicide. The ages are getting younger and younger. I'm totally lost in my notes, so I'm just going to move on. I've had, on a couple occasions during my time during therapy here, I've had youth tell me that they have been told by their own peers, nobody likes you, you should just kill yourself. Social media has been there's pros and cons, but if you don't get enough likes to your post, you should just kill yourself. It doesn't work, it's not worth living. So in closing, I just want to share, I don't know if many of you have heard of Kevin Hines. He is the sole survivor who has jumped off the Golden State Bridge in California in an attempt to end his life. And I had the opportunity to go to one of his presentations where he goes around the world now sharing his story. And yes, it was due to a sea lion that kept him afloat. But part of his story that really touched me is that he will say he had to take this bus to get there. If somebody would have smiled at him, said, hey, how you doing, like we do so many times, he probably would have changed his mind. It was the moment he leapt off that bridge that he realized he didn't want to do this, so he shifted his body so his feet would hit the water. All he wanted is he wanted to matter to somebody. And so I just come before you. I think Fremont County, as we've heard, I've sat here just feeling like, okay, I'm in the right place. I'm following what some other people have shared. We need to do something, and I just want to be a part of that team, a part of that group that can reach out to these people that are just hurting, because I want them to know they matter. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Pam. Kathy Finney. Greetings. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you, and welcome to the new council. It's fabulous. We are 521, 523 Main Street, the new grounds for Fremont Center for the Arts. Fremont Center for the Arts has been in existence since 1947. So that's a pretty awesome legacy, I should say. A lot of this, I'm hearing, it kind of comes back to how important art is and expressing yourselves and finding an avenue of how you can take life and maybe put it on canvas or other means and get it out there. So I'm pretty proud of what our organization is doing. With that, I want to tell you about some exciting things that we've got going on, but I want you to meet these people behind me. This is Lisa Clark. She runs the Curator. And Kenny Paul, I think everybody knows from the Poorhouse. But these are two very incredible people.
Hi, I'm Lisa. The Curator was created as an extension of the arts. It's not a nightclub, it's not a late night bar, but it's a thoughtful, curated space. Community-focused events like art openings, small events, creative classes, pairing dinners, private events. Our events are structured, managed, and typically conclude by 8 or 9 p.m. with a strong emphasis on being respectful neighbors and responsible operators. We see these events bring positive foot traffic downtown, support local artists and musicians, and help keep our arts nonprofit accessible to the community. We are grateful for the city's support and look forward to continuing to be a positive partner with the city and downtown. Thank you.
Thank you. Kenny.
Hello, my name is Kenny Paul. I am the owner of the Poorhouse Coffee Shop. We have a new location here in Canyon that we've been waiting for a long time, for the right spot, and the right partnership with Fremont Center of the Arts has been a huge blessing for us. Great landlords. You know, this year, actually, the Poorhouse has been in business for 30 years. I've only owned it for 15, but I'm thankful to be part of that history here in Fremont County. It opened my freshman year of high school. We are a coffee roastery, bakery. We have a full breakfast menu here in Canyon, and we offer consulting, wholesale coffee roasting for your business, mobile options for off-site events, things like that. We're excited to be downtown Canyon, to be with Fremont Center of the Arts. So thank you for letting us speak. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
J. Bob, are you here, sir? There you are. Thank you for coming, sir. We appreciate it.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council, and city staff. I'm J. Bob Klinkerman, and I serve as chairman of the Royal Gorge Nonprofit Alliance. It's an affiliate of the Royal Gorge Chamber Foundation, which is also part of the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance. The Nonprofit Alliance was established to bring Fremont County nonprofits together, to connect them, support them, and help promote important work that they do. Our goal is really simple, to strengthen collaboration so local nonprofits can grow, succeed, and have an even greater impact on our community. The Nonprofit Alliance hosts a quarterly in-person meeting where nonprofits can collaborate and share ideas. And we're also working toward offering future seminars on topics that will help our nonprofits thrive. Sorry, a little tongue-tied tonight. Our next meeting is this coming Thursday, January 22nd at 5:30 p.m. at the Gateway Depot and Plaza at 9th Street and Royal Gorge Boulevard. To date, we have identified more than 90 nonprofits operating in Fremont County, representing a wide range of focus areas, including arts, culture, and humanities, education and youth development, environment and animal welfare, health and human services, public and social benefit, fraternal organizations, public safety, and disaster preparedness. As you've heard from several tonight, I've heard some of them come up to the podium tonight and speak. That shows what importance our nonprofits are to our community. So with that, I want to thank you for allowing me a few minutes this evening to highlight the importance of our local nonprofits.
I'd appreciate the opportunity to come before council from time to time to share nonprofit events, causes, and that they are the true assets of Canyon City and to Fremont County as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Dotsie Baxter. Thank you for coming, Dotsie. Welcome.
If you let me, I'm going to give you a little copy of what I wrote so that I will talk to them as well. If you guys would just kind of spread that around. This is great. Thank you for the opportunity to let the community tell you a little bit about what's going on.
If you drop that mic down just a little bit for you, there we go. We want to hear you.
So what I am here for is a proposal to try to maybe ask for your blessing or permission on this idea I have. If you watch local news at all, sometimes they highlight something that goes on in Colorado Springs at Garden of the Gods, and they call it motorless mornings, where they will delay opening the gate to Garden of the Gods to allow walkers and bikes to enjoy Garden of the Gods without cars. I thought, well, we could do that on Skyline Drive. Wouldn't that be great? To be able to, now I don't know if the gate is closed on Skyline Drive at night or not, but my proposal is to duplicate this and have a couple of motorless mornings on Skyline Drive. You could either use that name or maybe we call it Sunrise on Skyline. Closing it maybe just 2 Saturdays during the summer from about 5:30 in the morning till 9:30 to allow people to enjoy the road without having to, sort of step off into the cactus as the cars go by. The target audience for this would primarily be walkers, but I also know that cyclists might enjoy the, riding over Skyline without cars as well. This would likely be a walk up to the top from one side or the other, wherever you park your car, as opposed to going all the way over Skyline Drive. I've touched base with as many people as I could think of and had really positive feedback from Ryan from the city, Kathy from the police department. Denise sent me a street closure request form, which I think is what needs to be done in order to request that Skyline Drive be closed for this short period of time. I talked to AMR, why would we need AMR, you ask, right? For people going to the top of Skyline. Mac from the Golden Age Center, he actually said maybe we could provide a shuttle. If parking is an issue, we could provide a shuttle to, the base and then pick people back up. Tony with the street department, I talked to Kat from FAR, Rex Brady, I talked to him today, Kyle, and Brenda at the chamber. So I've kind of tried to talk to everybody I could and say, what am I missing? What am I not thinking about in here? And I really haven't had anybody come up with anything that says that this wouldn't work because of one reason or another. J-Bob, that name? So I looked at the calendar today, and so the dates that I have proposed do not have anything big going on in town. The when of this would be probably April 25th, which is the Saturday before Blossom, and then October 3rd, so it'd just be 2 Saturdays. The sunrises are right in that time range, so you might be able to walk to the top of Skyline and watch the sunrise. The only remaining concerns might be parking. If there's a lot of people who are interested in doing this, would that bother the neighborhoods who, it may spill over into parking in the neighborhoods. I did talk to the Fly Shop out on the west side, but that's their high season for business, and so he said, I would love to offer you my parking, but I really can't. That wouldn't help my business, so I will respect that. So that could be the only issue I can think of. A future enhancement of that could be a food truck at the top where you could get coffee and water and a burrito or something. But that's not, I think to begin with, it's just the idea of saying, would you approve of the idea? It's not a sponsored event. So all it is an invitation or an opportunity to say, hey, if you want to walk Skyline or bike Skyline without cars, this is, this date from this time and this date from this time would be an opportunity to do that. So the promotion or the advertising for that would simply be, Canyon Land Walkers and Hikers, or the FAR, or the Chamber, or whatever. So I'm trying to make it just really simple. We shouldn't be policing it or any of that kind of stuff. Just say the road will be closed, go for it and have fun. So that is all I have. And if you, on my name and number on here, if anybody wants to get back to me and say, hey, we think this is a great idea, go for it. My number is there. Thank you for this time.
Thank you so much, Dotsie. Stacy Turner. Welcome, Stacy. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. My name is Stacy Turner. I'm the Assistant District Attorney for the 11th Judicial District, representing the people of Custer, Chaffee, Park, and Fremont counties. Welcome, Mayor, and welcome new City Council members. I was asked to be here tonight by the District Attorney. We've been at the helm of the District Attorney's office for a little over a year. It's been very challenging and rewarding, and we're looking forward to the new year. The main reason I wanted to be here tonight is we just want to start the new year affirming our support for our law enforcement partners, most specifically tonight, the Canyon City Police Department, and most importantly, our support for victims of crime within the areas that we represent, including the city of Canyon City. So we're looking forward to seeing this city council and this mayor support our local law enforcement and victims of crime within this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And please give Jeff our regards, too, for sending you. So thank you. Dominic. Welcome, Dominic. I think you're going to be the youngest speaker tonight.
Unfortunately. Hi, my name is Dominic Garnon. I'm a junior at Canyon City High School. And I grew, okay, I come before you, the council, tonight, and the mayor tonight, is that even though we may or may not disagree, at the end of the day, we are fighting toward a common goal. And that common goal is to make our citizens of our nation and our cities across the United States of America and abroad successful and more sustainable to live in. And what that means is that we get up every day, we be law-abiding citizens, we get up every day with a positive attitude, we get up in every day and say to ourselves that what can we do to be the best versions of ourselves than we were the day before. And what I say is that do we have faith or not that we could succeed in what we want to do? Because in my own opinion, if we don't have faith, we're not going to get anywhere. If we have faith in I'm a Christian, so back on July 30th of 2022, I decided to turn my life to Christ. And through that, I found that life does get more difficult, but it makes you feel better because you have faith in something. Now, I like to call, if we want to have communities become more successful, or if we want to get up every day, so then I call it innovation for success, not an innovation to success, because you do strive to get to something, but we got to do it for something. If we take our innovation, what does innovation mean to you, Mr. Mayor? What does it mean to you?
I think I'll not answer that, and you can go ahead and finish your speech. I appreciate that. Innovation, we just had that meeting, but we want to hear from you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to get in the habit of public speaking. I haven't done it in a
You're doing
little
great.
bit.
Keep going.
So, I think, too, if more young people would come up here and speak more often like you allow me to tonight, that you could have more, that we could have more innovative success in a successful community like you campaigned on having more of an innovative community, more citizens getting involved. What about having mayor's youth council like Denver and other cities? So if you, and this is for not just to you council members and mayor on the podium, this is to everyone. Now, if you get up every day and reflect on what you did the day before, that's the day before. But if you go to bed every night and reflect on what happened of the day of, I think that you will find that you will have more of a positive outlook for the future, because what I've decided to do is I've decided to get up every day and tell myself that what can I do to be the best version of myself than I was the day before, and what can I do to encourage others to be a better version of themselves than they were before, and how could we lead our citizens and ourselves to strive for success. Now, if we, the citizens of Canyon City and abroad here in the United States of America, do not live up to the core principles of life, like being law-abiding citizens, we will not get anywhere because of the rapid crime rate that is spreading across our nation and others. I think that if we, the United States, all came together through this on July 30, I mean July 4th, which is our nation's 250th birthday, and if we all came together on that day, we could still celebrate, but what we could do is come together and reconcile and deliberate on what we did wrong and what we could do to become better and proactive citizens of our country and abroad. And now, I'm somebody that has received presidential correspondence. I don't care that I've received that. What I care about is what I could do to get up and help my community and fellow citizens of these great United States succeed in daily life. And that, in closing, what I'd like to say is that what can you, the council, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and citizens abroad here in the United States of America, Canyon City, of what we could do to get up and every day and be the best version, and just try to be the best versions of ourselves we could be, even if we're having the worst day of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. We appreciate it. If there's anyone who hasn't filled out a form and you're planning on speaking, make sure you fill out a form and get that up here. I've got 4 more to go, but I do know that there's a couple of you that had indicated you are speaking, and grab a form right there, get it up to the clerk, and we'll be good to go. So, Mr. Bob Stovall. Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council, and members of the community, I am Bob Stovall. I'm the board chair of the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance, and I'm here to congratulate you on behalf of the board, each of you, and thank you for hosting this first ever open mic City Council meeting. We'd love to welcome our new mayor, our new council members, and express our sincere appreciation for your willingness to listen openly and early to the voices of the residents and businesses alike. That openness matters, and it sets a strong tone for the work ahead. The Chamber Alliance is proud to be a community partner with the City of Canyon City, as well as value our collaboration with Fremont County government, the communities of Florence and Penrose, Fremont Economic Development Corporation, Fremont County Tourism Council, and the Upper Arkansas Area Council of Governments, each of which plays a distinctive role, and none of us succeeds in isolation. For any community to be successful, it takes cooperation among public agencies, education sector, economic drivers, nonprofits, all of us working together, respecting each other's mission. Progress comes from alignment, trust, and shared responsibility. Chamber Alliance is here to support businesses, strengthen our economy, and help our communities thrive. Over the past year, our member services and programs have continued to expand along with our new home at Gateway Depot and Plaza, supporting entrepreneurs, new and established businesses, networking, tourism promotion, education. We do a lot, you know. Business-friendly legislation and community events. We continue to support efforts that promote commerce and responsible economic development, including the importance of being perceived as a business-friendly community. That perception matters not just to outside investors, but to the local business owners who are deciding whether to expand, hire, or reinvest right here at home. At the same time, we fully recognize and respect the laws, codes, and regulations that exist to protect the safety, health, and well-being of our residents. A strong community is one that balances opportunity with responsibility. We're genuinely excited about the potential of Canyon City and Fremont County growing in a way that honors our roots while reflecting our shared values. Growth does not have to mean losing our identity. If it's done thoughtfully, it can reinforce what makes this, this place special, our history, our sense of community, and our quality of life. The Chamber stands ready to support the actions and decisions that demonstrate our community's willingness to collaborate and thoughtfully embrace the future. And as you begin your service, know that the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance views you not just as leaders, but as partners, and we will work alongside you, listening, sharing insights from our business community, and helping advance solutions that benefit the entire region. Thank you again for your service and for creating space for the dialogue and for your commitment for the future of Canyon City. And now it's time for the advertisement. We'd like to invite you and everyone else in this room listening, as well as those listening online, rather, to attend our 138th Annual Banquet and Awards Ceremony on Friday, February 20th at the Pathfinder Park Event Center. That's presented by Black Hills Energy, and this year's theme is Local Motion, powered by local business, on track for community prosperity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Cassie Grow, and I think there's others with you. Cassie? Yes. Let's see, I've got Cassie Grow, Edward Oliver, and Raylyn Yarberry. If I got that right. Thank you for coming.
Way over there.
Yeah, we're good.
Good evening. I am Cassie Grow. I am the president of the Canyon City Music and Blossom Festival, and we are here tonight to talk a little bit about our community's time-honored tradition. Oh. And we've heard it said a couple of times tonight, but this year Colorado will observe two significant anniversaries. The United States will mark the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, and at the same time, Colorado marks its 150th anniversary of our entrance to the Union. As the centennial state, Colorado is the only one who will observe twin anniversaries. In honor of this once-in-a-generation commemoration, the 88th Annual Music and Blossom Festival theme is Stars Over the Rockies. On behalf of the Blossom Committee, we want to express our most sincere gratitude to you, members of council, and our community for the ongoing support and cooperation provided every year to the festival. It truly is a celebration of our community and the vision that we all have moving forward. Leading up to the festival, Blossom hosts a few events to include the pageant, the ball, and the Blossom Ballers Bowling Tournament. That was new last year. It's a lot of fun. But beginning on the Wednesday before the first full weekend of May, our 5-day celebration of spring begins with the largest high school and middle school band competition in the state. Competitions are in the areas of concert band, jazz band, and other competitions such as choir. Those are held at Canyon City High School, Florence High School, and St. Michael's Church. Those types of competitions are free and open to the public. On both Saturday and Sunday of Blossom Weekend is the annual Blossoms in the Park Craft Fair at Veterans Park with a full lineup of free entertainment on the Veterans Park stage both days. Saturday afternoon is the 88th Annual Music and Blossom Festival Parade, which brings tens of thousands of spectators downtown. We already have 19 marching bands signed up, so that's really fun. This year, the festival is proud to be a part of the Stories in the Sky series. That is a statewide celebration honoring America's 250th and Colorado's 150th anniversary. The series brings a community drone show to the skies across Colorado, and it began in September 2025, and it will go through December 2026. It's going to be an unforgettable experience, but the drone shows were developed through a partnership between the America 250 and Colorado 150 Commission, the Colorado Tourism Office, and Visit Denver. It's going to be sponsored by Chevron, Tallgrass, UC Health. We are honored to host one of these displays, bringing a historical milestone and celebration to Canyon City and adding an exciting new dimension to our beloved Blossom Festival tradition. The drone show is scheduled for the evening of Saturday, May 2nd. We are still working out the rest of the logistics as to what time that's going to be, where the best viewing spots are going to be, but we have lots of meetings coming up to figure all of that out. Also on Saturday evening is in Centennial Park is our annual Cluster Duck concert, and Cluster Duck offers a mix of live popular music from the 80s, 90s, and now. In addition to the events that we directly organize, the greater community holds multiple events during the week, like the annual Run Blossom races organized by FAR, the art show sponsored by the Fremont Center for the Arts, the annual Royal Gorge Rodeo, and that's organized and hosted by the Rodeo Association. The Canyon City High School always cancels school on Friday for Blossom Day. It's become a local holiday for the school, so that's a lot of fun. And they do their annual Blossom Invite, which is a huge track meet. So the whole Blossom Festival isn't just a parade downtown, it is an entire community event. But for more than 80 years, Blossom has been self-sustaining. And the Blossom Committee is 100% volunteer. We have no paid employees, and until just a couple of years ago, we've never needed any sponsors. In fact, the committee has a history of donating significant portions of all of our proceeds back to the community. But with the absence of a carnival last year, Blossom is hurting. We are still hunting for a carnival, and thank goodness with the city's help, once we find that carnival, we'll be able to level out some ground to actually place that carnival on. But again, that's all from me. I'm going to turn it over to my co-vice president so you can hear from him. His name is Edward Oliver, and I think you guys are going to like him.
I'm sure we will. Thank you so much. Edward?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, business owners, and members of our community. My name is Edward Oliver. I'm the co-vice president of the Canyon City Music and Blossom Festival, and I'm proud to stand here tonight simply as a resident of Canyon City. I've only lived in Canyon City for going on 6 years now, which in a town deep in root and long family histories might not sound like very long. But in that time, this community has become home, and one of the strongest reasons for that is the Music and Blossom Festival. I want to share something personal. I grew up in Dripping Springs, Texas, and as a kid, one of the defining experiences of my childhood was Dripping Springs Founders Day. Back then, I didn't understand economic impact reports or tourism data. What I understood was the feeling. The town felt alive. The streets were full, local businesses were busy, families came together, there was pride, real pride, in where we lived. As I got older, I began to understand what the festival actually did for our town. It wasn't just fun, it drove millions of dollars into small local economy over time. It supported small businesses, it attracted visitors who later became residents. And it played a measurable role in the growth and vibrancy of Dripping Springs. The festival helped shape the town, and it helped shape me. When I moved to Canyon City, I recognized the same spark here, as I saw it in the Music and Blossom Festival. I saw the potential not just for a great event, but for something much bigger, something that strengthens our economy, builds community identity, and inspires the next generation. That's why I wanted to be a part of it. From an economic standpoint, community festivals like this matter. and the data backs that up. According to regional tourism and economic studies, multi-day community festivals generate between $1.50 and $3 in local economic activity for every dollar invested. That includes lodging, dining, retail, fuel, and services. For Canyon City, that means increased hotel occupancy, higher restaurant and retail sales, seasonal job opportunities, as well as vendor revenue staying local. For many small businesses, this weekend is not just profitable, it's essential. It helps offset slower seasons and introduces their brand to thousands of new potential customers. But numbers only tell part of the story. Socially and culturally, the Music and Blossom Festival does something just as important. It brings everyone together. In one of the rare times which barriers disappear, income level doesn't matter, background doesn't matter, whether you've lived here 6 years or 6 generations, you're standing on the same street, listening to the same music, sharing the same experiences. And for our youth, that impact is profound. Young people today need connection. They need inspiration. They need to see their hometown as a place of opportunity, not something they can escape from in order to succeed. The festival gives them that. It gives them pride, it gives them involvement, and it gives them memories. When kids march in the parade, volunteer, perform, or simply experience their city at its best, it builds confidence and belonging. Studies consistently show that community engagement opportunities for youth reduce isolation, improve mental health, and increase long-term civic involvement. This festival contributes directly to that. None of this happens without support. As a nonprofit, the Music and Blossom Festival relies heavily on sponsorship and donations from individuals and businesses. These contributions are not handouts, they are investments. Investments that return value in economic growth, community cohesion, brand exposure, and long-term city identity. Finally, this festival helps Canyon City stand out. In a world where cities compete for visitors, residents, investments, identity matters. The Music and Blossom Festival tells our story. It says Canyon City is vibrant. It says Canyon City is welcoming, and it says Canyon City believes in itself. I joined the festival because I've seen what it can do. I've lived the long-term impact of a strong community event, and I believe deeply that the Canyon City Music and Blossom Festival can continue to be the driving force and inspiration and pride right here at home. This festival is not an expense. It's not just entertainment. It's an investment in our economy, our youth, our culture, and our future. And I thank you for your time, your leadership, and your continued belief in Canyon City.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Well, I'm Raylan Yarberry, and I get to do the fun part and talk about the sponsorship stuff. So I didn't really grow up here, moved here when I was 13, but Blossom was a huge deal when I was a teenager. It was being able to go to the carnival without my parents, do the parade without my parents, and as a mom, my kids love doing that because mom's not around and can't tell you no. I spent the day yesterday going around to local businesses, talking to people. I actually got to talk to you, and so many businesses were so excited to hear the little details about Blossom coming back. I didn't give many details because we're still working out logistics, but I was able to give little snippets of how the carnival and Blossom was when I was growing up and the hope that it would be coming back to that. And businesses were so excited. So we have different levels. I talked to 32 businesses in this community yesterday. Every single one of them was so excited. They wanted to know what to do to help the community. Not Blossom, the community. And I think that's the biggest thing that speaks to us in Canyon is it's a community, it's a family, right? Like we have Whitewater, we have Flashback on Main, I go to all of them. It is so fun, but it is a community, it's coming together. It's watching the girls go down the parade route, waving at the little girls that will be queen one day. You know, the little miss and mister that look up to the queen and they remember it when they are queened later. We've had that happen before. Our little miss has been queen. We've done it before. So Blossom is a huge undertaking. We do need support. And we just appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you very much for coming, all three of you.
We'll be here all night.
We have 3 more to go. Paul Kulovic, I don't know if I've got your name correct, last name, Paul. We've never talked about our last names. I know him as Paul. Thank you for coming, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor, and all the council members. First time doing anything like this before. transplanted out here just over a year ago from Fountain, before that out east. Reason why I moved out to Fountain is because of the fact me and my wife were coming down here so much. We loved the town so much, everything that we did down here all the time. So we decided that we were going to move, and we started talking, and we found exactly what we wanted down here. And guess what? We're in Canyon City. Over the summer, had opportunities to have conversations with our mayor, a lot of different people online. Quite a few of the different things that I'm going to talk about are things that other people here tonight have already discussed. The Economic Development Committee, I do plan on putting my name in for that. Reasoning behind that, talking to people online in the area, walking down the street, hi, how you doing? I'm a U.S. Air Force vet, Air Force medic. I wear some of my stuff at times, and for as many times as I've gotten thank you for my service and a lot of the things from people, yeah, it hits home. People that I've talked to online and locally, they also love this town. They want to see community. They want us to show the rest of the United States and everybody else why Canyon City is so special, especially with everything that's going on in the United States and a divide and everything else. We have to promote our town, our people, support our people. I hear a lot of conversations online, people that are struggling in the area here. We got more than enough part-time jobs, minimum wage jobs, seasonal jobs. We need to keep the small town feel that we do have here, which is part of the reason why me and probably thousands others decided to move out here. But this town does have to grow, and it does have to be in a way where they are jobs that people can live the lifestyle they want, pay their bills, make it good for the kids, have activities for the kids to do instead of, watch the TV, get on the computer, play on your phone. Get them out. When I was younger, my mom had to drag me in. You had to be home when the street light came on, and sometimes I got in trouble because I didn't do that. We got to do a lot of things to make the town grow in a way where it could sustain growth, but keep the things that we like about the town. With the committee, I went between the three of them, decided I wanted to put my hat in for that one. 14 years in the military, 28 years in DOT transportation field, which I'm still in as of today, looking to sort of sideline from that a little bit. But I got a lot of good experience that I've had through the years, and I want to be able to pass that on to the younger generation, give insight of things that I've done and I haven't done, to job fairs. Instead of going to a college, having things set up in the area where they can learn a job or a sponsorship or something like that in the area, instead of spending all this money where they can learn where they're actually working. I've been a motorcycle instructor. I've been a CDL instructor. I've worked with the top people here in DOT on a couple different individual things over the last 8.5 years I've been in state here. But I know that the town can do it. And if from the government entities here, the council members, our mayor, trying to get new companies in that love the area as much as they do, instead of, hey, are we going to be able to pay our bills this week? Are we going to be able to pay our rent? Am I going to have to move out of a town that I love because of the fact that I can't make a living, I can't pay my bills? That's probably one of the biggest gripes that I hear from a lot of people in the town. And I put a couple things out recently online, and I've gotten a lot of response, and I've gotten a lot of people talking. And it just seems that it hones back to the same things over and over again, what people want. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to get involved. I do want to get involved in a town, into the committee, and whatever else I can get my hands on to be able to help out the change that everybody has decided that they want to do. I've had a lot of people here that have backed on quite a few things that I knew I was going to bring up, but they sort of beat me to it because I got up here before I did. But I know the town can do it. And with the House, the help of all the council members, our law enforcement, Department of Public Works, the parks and everything else, this can be a place like when I first moved out here 8.5 years ago. I used to come out here a lot with the service, which was the primary reason why I came out to Colorado in the first place. But back then it was, everybody's moving to Colorado. It was number one, number two place in the United States to move to. Why can't we do that same thing to Canyon City? I think we warrant it, we deserve it, and if everybody works together, we can actually all, government officials, residents, teenagers, children, if everybody gets on the same wagon, I know that we can do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it very much. And last but not least, we've got two Justins. So Justin Kurth. And the other Justin, you're coming, so.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor Lund, Mayor, members of the City Council, and neighbors. My name is Justin Kurth, and I'm the Fremont County Democratic Party Chair. Also want to recognize my counterpart from the Republican Party, Justin Scott, in the audience this evening as well. Good evening, Mr. Chair. A little bit about myself. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, a son of the Plains, and my family and I have resided in Fremont County since 2011. And here with them, we raised our two kids who are now attending college. And while we lived in Penrose most of that time, we've really enjoyed coming to Canyon City very regularly, sometimes daily or multiple times a day, especially if I've forgotten the right parts to repair the thing and had to come to Home Depot or Ace. It's multiple trips, etc. We've enjoyed, of course, the schools, the volunteer organizations and events here in Canyon City. A lot of also good coffee options here in town. I want to thank the mayor for coming to our most recent Central Committee meeting this previous Saturday and sharing his vision. We meet every third Saturday at 10 in the morning at the Hive in downtown Canyon City, and anyone seeking to join or get involved can reach out and find our contact information at fremontdemocrats.com and on Facebook. And I want to encourage everyone here, regardless of affiliation, to be involved in self-governance at the local level by, of course, voting, but also volunteering for things like election judges and other positions available. The beginning of this term, of course, that we're the council's term, the mayor's term, is a moment that demands both a steady hand and a bold vision for what Canyon City can become. We often talk about economic growth as a series of numbers, which it is, of course, too. Tax bases, permit filings, percentage increases. Those terms all belong in the conversation, of course, but as a community, we must also set our sights on the impacts growth can have on the quality of life of our neighbors and families from the ground up. Our 32nd President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, said that the true individual freedom cannot exist without economic security and independence. People who are hungry and out of a job are the stuff of which dictatorships are made. In this historic year for Colorado, our goal shouldn't just be to make Canyon City a place where business can be done, though it should, but also a place where people can thrive. When we see new investment in our downtown or our industries, we must ask the catalyst question: how does this translate into value for the family working two jobs to stay in their home? How does this benefit the graduates from our local schools who want to build a life here? We cannot ignore the wins that come out of our nation or our state's capital. We've seen with our own eyes policies that prioritize consolidation of wealth over the distribution of opportunity. Our state too, has left injuries to opportunity with even the best of intentions that often sideline rural communities and small businesses on the plains and along the foothills, in the water conservancy districts, and communities along our peaks. But here in Canyon City, I hope we will be a firewall to those trends, and that you will be the leaders building that firewall. Measuring our successes not by the wealth of the most comfortable, but by the stability and upward mobility of those hardest working. We ought to see people re-engaging as well in these civic institutions around our community. So let us ensure that Canyon City grows. As Canyon City grows, it grows for everyone, Democrat, Republican, third party, unaffiliated, across the spectrum. But let's ensure that growth is also for the folks working the night shift at our prisons and the small business owners taking the risks on Main Street, from those developers and investors to the teachers and nurses, because growth should be for everyone. And Canyon City's growth is our growth. And our party looks to do just that. I look forward to the work we can do together. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it so much. Unbelievably, we are bringing together both the Democrats and the Republicans here tonight for our local community. So next up is Justin Scott, and you are the last one I think that I have here. So, Justin, appreciate you coming, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Schmischer, council members. I appreciate the opportunity to address you this evening. Yes, I am the chairman of the Fremont County Republican Party, but I do not presume to speak for all Republicans. I'll be speaking on my own behalf, with the assurance that many of my Republican friends share these opinions, but I can assure you that Republicans are united on their belief in conservative principles, but we have a lot of opinions. If you have 3 Republicans having a discussion, you can be pretty certain there will be at least 5 opinions voiced. In the last meeting, Mayor Lund, you presented a vision for the future of Canyon City, a vision that included reduction of impediments to building and growth, to streamlining the permitting process, a reduction in regulation. I want to commend to the entire council my belief that that is the proper course of action. More freedom, less regulation, more opportunity without impediments. That is what everyone needs around the world. As for my hopes for this council, that would be the foremost, that you reduce regulation and the restrictions on freedom as people try to exercise their right to life, liberty, and happiness, or the pursuit thereof. As most of you are aware, we had a hard-fought slog through getting a new firearms ordinance for Canyon City last year. And we wound up with an almost good one. I would like to see that revisited and remove the last restrictions. Not because I have any personal desire to carry a firearm into council chambers openly, but because our founders recognized the bearing of arms to be a public good. And statistics today bear that out. Where firearms are more carried by citizens, crime is lower. That is true across the United States. Interviews with convicted felons indicate that they are very concerned about the presence of a firearm and usually will not pursue their intended crime if they know that one is present. Seems they don't mind harming other people, but they don't want to get hurt themselves. So I would like for us to be truly free as an example to all the rest of Colorado and the world that freedom works. Several meetings ago, Rick Ratzlaff brought up something about a fence ordinance in Canyon City. And diplomacy is not Rick's strong suit. But when he brought that up, I found it curious. I wasn't aware of the restrictions on front yard fences. And I'm not particularly fond of fences at all. But I found myself scratching my head. At some point, someone thought it was good to restrict front yard fences in Canyon City, and I wondered what could possibly be the public interest in whether or not someone has a solid fence in their front yard. The only thing I could think of is the ability to see at street intersections, but I drive not only the streets, but the alleys in the pursuit of my business, and so I'm aware that the setbacks on fences make it fine to see to enter a street from the alley, so it would not be any different from in the front. The only impediment to seeing in our streets tends to be trees, mostly city trees. And I realize my time is over, but I would suggest, I know the city arborist has a monumental task trying to take care of Canyon City trees, but perhaps it would be wise for a certain number of days each year to be dedicated to simply policing the visibility issues. And since my time has expired, I'll just say, more freedom, less regulation. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. It's hard to follow up with all the things that we've heard, and I want to say that I think we have heard you, and with the issues with people's challenges personally, with issues with regulations, with all the other items and the fabulous community that we've got with the schools and the Blossom Festival and the Whitewater Festival and more. And I just want to follow up with saying thank you for coming tonight, and we appreciate hearing from you. We need to do this more often, and I would even invite any council member that wants to say a quick follow-up. If you would like to do that, please do. We'll keep it short because we've got more on the agenda, but I am truly appreciative of hearing from the citizens of Canyon City, and we're all in this together, and we can move this forward, this town forward. So, any council members want to talk? Are we good? We want to give you a big hand for coming tonight, and so the council members are, thank you. Okay, with that, we're going to continue with our agenda, and if you want to stick around, you are welcome to do that, but we are going to move forward with the consent agenda. So the administrator, if you would review the consent agenda, and we can go from there.
Thank you, Mayor Lund. Members of council, item 9A is the approval of minutes for the regular city council meeting on January 5th and the special meeting on January 7th. 9B is to authorize the city administrator to sign a funding agreement with the Golden Age Center. 9C authorizes the city administrator to sign a funding agreement with Fremont Center for the Arts. 9D authorizes the city administrator to sign a funding agreement with the Humane Society of Fremont County. 9E authorizes the city administrator to sign a funding agreement with the Royal Gorge Chamber Alliance. 9F is to receive and file the monthly budget summary for November, and 9G is to receive and file cash disbursements and P-card disbursements.
Okay, are there any questions on the consent adjustment or agenda and any adjustments to it? Okay, if not, I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Fred Tony, yes, sir.
Make that motion to approve the consent agenda A through G.
Okay, is there a second to that motion? I have to hit it, or they have to? Okay, so good. Kathy Worthington is the second on that motion. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, I'll call for the question. I think, members, you get the vote on there. And I think everyone has voted. Clerk, if you would call the results of that.
Mayor, pardon me, Mayor Pro Tem Smisher?
Denise, actually, we're just going to...
Just announce it.
Yeah, you just need to announce it.
So it passed 6-0.
Oh, okay.
We're all learning this new system. If you weren't here when I talked about it, the brand new system tonight, and we're learning our way through it.
Not if it's all...
Yep, it's all visible on the screen, so all you have to do is announce it. It passed 6-0 at this point. I believe that's how it would work. So I'll allow you to do that. I won't step on you.
Motion passed 6-0.
Okay. That's what we're planning on doing, right? Okay. Again, we're learning through this. Administrator's report, please.
Yes, sir. You have the written report in your packets, and just the highlights from that. The city staff will be, we met with Port for the stakeholders meeting for the Western Gateway project. That was last week. We had a public engagement event where stakeholders came in and we did an exercise on priorities. There were multiple stakeholders from each group at each table, so to help facilitate that discussion. We're getting prepared for the next public open house, which is February 19th. We're still working on some of those logistics, and that will be coming out as soon as we have that available. And then the other important note is the urban renewal notices went out on January 8th for the various taxing entities, informing them of the potential for the 4 Mile Ranch urban renewal area. So we're working on setting up those scheduled meetings as well. Happy to take any questions regarding the administrator's report.
Any questions for the administrator? You got to press your button. Amy, you pressed your button, so we're good. Yes, Amy.
Thank you. Could you please also give us an update on Rhodes Avenue? Where is that project? Where is Atmos with it? When can citizens expect the road to be reopened? Thanks.
I see him walking up here. I know there were some meetings today with Public Works, and we've got Leo Evans, our Public Works Director, to give an update on that.
Yep. Good evening. We met on site this afternoon with the team from Miller Pipeline that's been working on it. The new 24-inch water main has been fully reinstalled. They spent the morning flushing that. They took back T samples this afternoon. Those take 24 hours to get back to make sure there's no bacteria in the water main before we fully reconnect it and utilize that. But we expect to be complete with the water main and backfilling of that yet this week. The crew that is doing the high-pressure gas main relocation will be back on site next week, Monday, and they expect about a week to finish up their work to put the new gas main in. Provided we can get asphalt this time of year and the weather's cooperative, we hope to be paving, I would say, towards the end of next week or the start of the week after that.
Any questions for Leo?
Thank you so much for that. Could you remind us the issues that have gone on for the past 3 years? Were those with the water main or with the gas main?
It's been a combination. The gas main required relocation, and the first attempt at relocating the gas main struck the water main, damaged it. It had been leaking for about a year. We can only work on it when the irrigation water is off due to the depth of the excavation required, so it's kind of lingered until this fall, and then Miller Pipeline has been in working on it since things dried up in December to get the new water main back in service, as they were the ones that struck the water main and damaged it.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Leo or the administrator? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the administrator's report as presented.
Don't need a motion.
And then invite the call for the motion, call for the second. And I have it right here on my list, so if we don't need to do that, somebody misled me. Okay. Okay. We are not going to have the executive session, but I do want to bring one more thing up before the council.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, you do have one agenda item that you do need a motion on.
What is that?
Second reading of ordinance 1.
Excuse me. Yes, I went to administrator and then invite the city administrator to give an update. But we need to do that specifically for ordinance 1, series 2026. It's an ordinance of the city of Canyon City vacating a plat known as Red Hawk Landing. We dealt with that in our first meeting, and all ordinance adjustments require a second reading. So, Mr. Administrator, if you could tell us on that one, I would appreciate it.
This is a second reading. The city has not received any additional public feedback, and staff would recommend passing on second reading. I do not see the applicant in the audience, so no additional comments there.
Okay, is there a motion on the floor to accept the ordinance as presented?
Yes.
Okay. Kathy Worthington did, and Amy Schmischer is on a second. Again, we're getting used to the screen up here. Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor? We just have to vote on there. You need to read it? Please do.
I need to read it. Yes, I move that we approve ordinance number 1, series of 2026 by title on second reading.
Okay, and Amy has seconded that motion. Now, is there any discussion? Hearing none, call the question. You can vote. And clerk, if you'll announce that, please.
Vote is passed, 6-0.
Okay, very good. So again, I do want to introduce one other item that I've want to address, if I could. One of the jobs as a mayor is to reach out to other city governments. That's part of the charter, and so I reached out to the Pueblo mayor and had a meeting with her. And in that discussion, we talked about challenges with economic development and where we're going. And since I've been mayor, I've heard many people. I went 11 days straight with someone challenging me about the administration of our ordinances. And so what the mayor of Pueblo had raised was the issue of they have a regional building department that they've assembled, and it is Southern Colorado Building Department. I asked them to send me the material because I know that the council, the past council had addressed that in the past. I took a look at it, and then after I was sworn in, I was invited to tour over in Pueblo, the Southern Colorado Building Department. I went over, and Mr. Fred Toney, who's the chair of the Finance Committee, we both went over there and took a tour of that and had some discussion with them. And I came away with the conclusion that this is something that we ought to take another look at. I know that, again, the former council had done that. So what I'm proposing, and I know that the city attorney has been involved with discussions with this as well. We met, and what I'd like to do is simply to ask the council, I'm not looking for a motion, but I'm asking the council to take another look at this specific proposal, and I'd like to see it go into 2 committees. I'd like to see it go into finance because it has a finance implication. I'd like to see it go into economic development, and because it has an economic development implication. And I had a small little statement that I wanted to make. I'm going to set that aside tonight and not do that, other than to say I do believe we've got some challenges that citizens consistently talk to me about. We've heard it tonight as well in some of the discussion. And I think we have an obligation as the mayor and the city council to take the citizens' challenges specifically seriously, and that includes contractors, it includes developers, and take an honest look at this. I'm not even suggesting that this is our solution, but it is a possible solution that we should look at. And again, I was pretty impressed with what they had over there and the opportunities. So I don't want to get into the details tonight. I'd like to leave that to the committees to actually take a look at and dive into those details, including the financial implications, the issues with can we solve some challenges internally. But I believe we absolutely have a challenge on this issue, and we ought to take a look at it. And with that, I'd like to switch it over to Mr. Fred Toney, the council member that participated in that discussion, and just give his thoughts on that as well.
Thank you, Mayor. I too was impressed by the Southern Colorado Building Department. They're housed downtown Pueblo. They had an opportunity to move into a 11-story, the old Wells Fargo building. It was going to cost them much more. They declined to do that. Thus, they lost some of the business in the county. About 38% of the business was lost. But that group has about 23 well-educated architects, engineers, master plumbers, master electricians, all of them with a load of experience. So, yeah, I think it's something that we need to look at. I don't think we can do that before we raise the committees, have the committees work with that, and give the council and the new council time to work with our internal departments as well. So I would suggest that we table that until we get educated with our own departments.
Yeah, and again, I talked with the city attorney. We don't need a motion if the council just accepts that. I'd like to see us, I'm asking you as the council to take a look at this in the respective committees. It gets there, and what the council member is referring to is we have a January 30th deadline for citizens to submit their letters of intent, or letters of interest, rather, for the particular ones. We'll be appointing those shortly thereafter, and once that takes place, then we can take a serious look at this with citizen involvement on that. So I am not looking for a motion. I just would like to see us do that, and I have the material that I'll forward on to the chair of those two committees, and they can take it up if they choose to do that, and we can take an honest look at this. Again, I want to suggest that we do have a problem, and we need to address it, and we would be negligent in our responsibilities to do that. Again, I'm not proposing that this is a solution. That is for the members of the council to decide, and it is also for the committee members to take a look at this, as well as other opportunities. But I don't think we want to wait much longer to move forward. We've had a number of people tonight address this issue, and I think it's time that we step up to the plate as the council and take a serious look at this. Hearing no one choosing any other thoughts, I'm going to send that off to the committees, and we'll move forward. Do we have an update at all on the bridge negotiation? I know we were going to deal with it in the executive session, but at least what's happening there?
Yeah. I need to abstain from that.
Yes, I understand. Okay. So Mr. Tony has a conflict of interest, so he is choosing to leave, and we expect that that would be the case, and he is out of here. And the administrator, if just a brief update of where we're at with that, so the public understands, and then we can conclude our meeting.
The negotiating committee met last week with City Attorney Sellers to go through the contract. We got a revision of the contract back yesterday afternoon. We're going through the comments to make sure that everything that was discussed on Friday made it into the contract, and that the contract language, just making sure that it's as concise and thorough as possible at the same time. And we would like to reschedule this executive session either later this week or early next week.
So we're going to have a special council meeting to do that?
We'll have to have a special council meeting. I think the committee needs to get together or at least have an opportunity to respond to the revisions that were made yesterday, and make sure that we're all on the same page before we bring a clean document to City Council.
Okay, very good. Any questions at all on this? So to the citizens who are still here and those online, I want to again say thank you to the citizens for participating in what we've called Open Mic Night. It was very enlightening, and I appreciate the comments personally, and I'm sure the rest of the council do. And we need to do more of the communication between citizens and its governance, which is the city here of Canyon City. So I'm a proud member of Canyon City, as you are, and let's move Canyon City forward. And I would encourage everyone to participate if you have an interest in Canyon City Forward Talks next Thursday, January 29th at the Steeple Event Center. We are adjourned.